This podcast is a member of the Place to Be Nation family. Visit us at placetobenation.com. The only place to be in your pop culture world.
Give me a 10-second recap of what happened with your life and how you have a family now.
Oh, okay. Well, let's see here. I moved from California to Utah, lived there for about a year, came to Colorado, got let go from 2 different news jobs, got hired at 1 news job. Since then, I've been married and had a kid.
Top beer. Top beer. Top beer.
What kind of kid?
Boy, you know this. Yeah, I had
You gotta tell Mike. He doesn't know.
Oh, sorry. I had a baby boy. His name's Monty, like Monty Python.
Sick.
Or Monty Brown.
Monty
The alpha
Python.
male?
Monty Python. Monty. Well, there's another Monty that I could.
Montgomery Burns.
The Full Monty. That's a movie, isn't it?
I thought his first name was Maximilian.
Well, if his first name was Maximilian, then his nickname would be Max, but that's not the case.
I know. That's why I'm wondering where this Monty thing is coming from.
Oh, it's Sarah's idea.
She liked Monty, huh?
Yeah, I liked it too. So, you know.
All right, that works.
Wait, what's the nickname of Monty then?
Well, his full name is Montgomery Alexander de la Torre. So Monty's short for Montgomery.
You know, my middle name is Alexander.
Nice. I didn't know that. No.
So basically, I should be his godfather, I think, at this point.
Yeah.
Cool.
Well,
Come on down to Colorado, and we'll facilitate that.
All right.
Both you and Tim can be the god. We'll do a very progressive Godfathers thing, plural.
Oh, that works. Yeah, actually.
Yeah.
That's all the rage right now.
It really is. And also, I mean, you shouldn't assume my gender. I might be a male, but I could also be a godmother.
That's
like, you don't know that.
That's very true.
I've always felt you had those qualities.
Oh man. Well, this is a nice surprise. You didn't tell me we were gonna have Mike D.
This is fun.
Yeah, this is awesome. I was like, who is this guy? Oh, Michael de la Torre. Nice. So.
All right. So, I mean, we're started the show, obviously.
Yes.
I've been recording the whole time.
Cool.
We've even got some pregame footage to add on to everything. But you know what I figured, Adrian, is last episode, whenever these come out comparatively, we had maybe an emotionally raw episode. You know, we kind of talked out our troubles. I had some people actually even question why we would go so far as to put something like that out so publicly. But that's just my style, so I figured, hey, why not kind of keep with it? We're gonna have some fun. We're gonna have our good friend on Michael de la Torre, who we've obviously me and you have been friends with for a very long time.
Yes.
And it's kind of another chance for me to just like put my real life out there for everyone. So
we're all about transparency, Tim. That's what we're all about here is being as transparent as possible.
Last week I wanted to do an episode where me and you talked our troubles out to explain to the people why we missed some episodes.
Mm-hmm.
This week I'm going to explain to the people why I'm probably going to miss some episodes a week or two, because I'm going to be heading up to San Francisco to hang out with Mike. And I want everyone to see just how fun it is to hang out with Michael and why it's worth missing some episodes of the podcast to get to have a chance to hang out with my buddy.
Yeah.
Right? Does that make sense?
That makes a lot of sense.
And
Also,
plus, like I said, go ahead, Mike.
It's also worth missing work, missing bar mitzvahs, missing potential godfather engagements. Sorry, Adrian.
No, it's all right.
We're gonna hang out. We're gonna talk. We're gonna have some fun to get over the hump from last week and the kind of I guess not bad. You know, it is what it is. Life is what it is. Mike, you probably didn't hear the episode last week, but me and Adrian got into a little fight. We won't kind of tell the listeners about it again because they already heard all about it. But just for you to get you caught up, me and Adrian got into a little fight. Missed some episodes. We talked it over. I think we're fine now.
We are fine.
And we're gonna start over fresh. But you know, the show still might take some detours here and there. So
yeah,
we might as well start off the new show by being completely off the rails. So this is Top Beer, but I think it's gonna be a little bit more free-form Top Beer. We've all got some beers. Me and Michael actually both have similar styles. Adrian, I guess you went left field here. So why don't you start us off? What kind of beer do you have tonight, Adrian?
Well, let's see. So my wife got me the. You know how some breweries will put out like a variety pack?
Yes.
So I got the Oscar Blues variety pack, and the variety pack comes with beers that I've had. I think you've had some of these. It's the Beerito, it's the IPA, it's the Pinner IPA, which is like a throwback IPA, which I know I've done on this show.
Ooh, is it the regular Pinner or the?
Yeah, so the pinner's the throwback IPA, and then there's like the regular IPA.
Oh, but is it because the passion fruit pinner to me is the dopest beer that they make?
No, it's just
after the Old Chub.
Yeah, no, it's just a good old fashioned IPA pinner, just the regular. And then it's Dale's Pale Ale, which I know you've had.
Oh, nice.
So so I want to do the Beerito because I really want to talk about this beer, but because we kind of just got into it, I didn't have time to go grab it. So let me do that really quick, and then we'll do an edit point.
Okay. Well, you go ahead and grab it, and I'll talk about my beer real quick, and then you'll be lost when we come back. How's that sound?
Sounds good.
Fantastic.
I also went to grab my beers too.
Perfect. I'm always the only one, I guess, just because I have the ice packs in the cooler and stuff. I always have my beer's right next to me.
Shit, there you go.
Yeah.
That was quick.
So,
I'm back.
That was quick. You're a fast backer.
Yeah.
So you got the Beerito. This is an interesting beer. So this is a Mexican style lager, which we did a Mexican lager show to not very great reviews. I think for the beers, we're not fans. But you're a fan of this one, huh?
Oh my God. So Tim, first of all, I love Oscar Blues because they always put like little like nicknames on the top of the can. So this one on the top says Malty Sanchez.
Okay.
And
sounds like the baby's done. You need to turn the microwave off.
Yeah, right. So this is the Beerito. This is the amber Mexican style lager. I really like this beer, Tim, and I'll tell you why I like it. Because it's a lager, but it's also it's a super malt forward lager. But you know how I feel about maltiness. Not with this beer, Tim. This beer is a perfect balance of malt and hops, mostly malty, very sort of caramelly, sort of in the flavor and the color and stuff. But I'm gonna stop talking about it because I want to go ahead and take a sip.
You're gonna start drinking about it.
I just got out of a hot shower and I need a nice, refreshing. If I can get it open. Don't you hate when you cut your nails and you can't open the can of beer? There we go.
That's never happened to me. I open my tabs with my finger. I don't use my nail.
This has the mouthfeel of like what you would expect from a lager, by the way.
Gross.
Yes.
That's really gross. This has that sort of foamy mouthfeel that you would expect from a lager, but it tastes so much better than just your typical, Bud Light, Budweiser, whatever.
Right.
Oh, it's just such a good beer. It's super refreshing. Like I wish I would have had this beer over the summer because I could have enjoyed this more than I was drinking like regular craft lagers at the pool the other day when it was still warm. But like if I had this one, oh man, this is let's see here. What is it at? 4.5 ABV, so not bad for a lager.
Not bad at all.
Not bad at all. And yeah, let's give it a score on Untapped. By the way, follow us. Are you on Untapped, Mike? Mike D, are you on Untapped by chance?
I'm not. But I can peer over at you guys. I haven't pulled up.
Yeah, check us out on Untapped. I'm at Dildo Boots. Tim is at Lucha Undead.
Undead.
Yeah, so I'm gonna rate this right now. Actually, I already did rate it. What am I talking about? I gave it a 4.0 out of 5 on Untapped. But yeah, I highly recommend this beer, Tim. If you like craft lagers, you're gonna love this one. This is probably the best craft lager I've ever had. So there's my beer. What do you guys got?
Okay. I was gonna go next just so that Mike has more time. But if you're ready, let's just switch over to a beer. Feel free. Otherwise, I'll go next.
You can go next. I'm gonna get working on it.
All right. So what I have is from Mumford Brewing, which is a local fave for me. It's kind of my third place, as they talk about, right? You got your work, you got your home, and you got your third place. I've been spending a lot of time at Mumford. I've actually gone there with Michael before. I think I've even gone there with Adrian before.
Yeah, we have
I think
actually.
I've taken both of you there.
Yeah.
So they were in World Series. Everyone in Los Angeles, honestly, was kind of World Series crazy. So obviously the can is nice and blue, and it's called Garvey, which I don't know if it's a reference. I think it might be some kind of reference to the Dodgers. I'm not sure. But this is a collaboration New England IPA with Horace Aged Ales, who are a moderately new brewery out of Southern California area. They're somewhere, I think they're like in between San Clemente and San Diego area, but I don't know that they have like a tap room open just yet. And this is a New England double IPA with blueberries, Citra and Mosaic hops. I love Mumford because they give you everything. So you got alcohol per volume at 8%, and they got the Play-Doh here, which I love to give out the Play-Doh because no one even really knows what that means.
What is that? I don't know what that means.
What's up?
Sorry, what is that?
Plato is a measurement of the gravity, so it has to do with the kind of the thickness of the beer. So the Plato on this, like I said, is 17.4. I don't even personally know how you measure Plato. I think unless you have, there's actually a pretty new little gadget for home brewers that's coming out that I saw that's like a Plato measurer. I think most of the time you do a mathematical equation to figure out the Plato based off of, I think, like the volume and the density, and you come up with the Plato as opposed to the gravity. A lot of times you'll see gravity on beers. So this pours a hazy kind of light purplish. Actually, it's more of like a guava color, if you're familiar with that. It's somewhere in between blue and red, I would say. Would you say that's a pretty good description of the color of guava there in general? Like it's
guava?
Yeah, I would say it's sort of like a pastel magenta.
Yeah.
Yes, that's pretty much perfect color. So it pours out hazy, pastel magenta, nice effervescent with small bubbles. I've got my new IPA glass. I kind of love these. I don't know if you guys have you seen the IPA glasses that were actually made in a concert with Sierra Nevada that they sell for like $100 per glass?
No.
Okay, so they have like a very small bottom that's kind of ridged, and then it flares out to the top that's like nice and big mouth, like big mouth style, and it's to help release aromatics and make it easier to smell.
Oh, I see.
And
yeah.
A lot of IPA glasses now are being made that they kind of duplicate that design style. So I got some from Offshoot. They're not quite as, I guess they don't taper as tightly at the bottom, so they're a little bit wider at the bottom than the other ones, but they do flare out to a nice bubble and then have the open wide mouth. They're pretty nice, honestly. They're really good for getting the aromatics, especially when you get these dry hopped IPAs, double, triple dry hopped IPAs. You get that floral. The smells come through a lot better.
Are they the ones that look like they could tip over super easily?
Yeah.
Like if you
100%.
If you have a dog with like a wild tail, like you're fucked, basically.
Oh yeah. They're the ones that look like they shouldn't. Like they're comically, like inappropriate. Not inappropriate. They're like comically like ridiculously like dangerous and precarious. Like they could easily fall over from like a stiff wind could knock them over. That's what they look like. And those are the ones that are like $100 per glass or whatever. These ones that I got, they're a little bit more sturdy when it comes to just being set up there. I really like them. They're from Offshoot Brewing, which I know like I shouldn't support Offbrewed because they're technically owned by the brewery, who's technically owned by private equity money. But we don't need to get into all that, right? Like
I've been tempted to
all
get
there.
one of those glasses, but yeah, they look too weird for my taste. I don't know. Maybe someday.
maybe.
They're not vanilla enough for Adrian.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. They're too quirky.
But yeah, so these this is the Mosaic doesn't come through strong for me. You get some Citra. I'm not a big Mosaic. I don't know if I talked about it, but I had that Mosaic hopped water from oh god, they make the knuckle sandwich. I'm trying to remember, Bootlegger Brewery out here in Orange County, and they had just straight up. It was sparkling water that was dry hopped with Mosaic, and it really brought through a lot of flavors in Mosaic that I had never truly appreciated before in beer because there was nothing else to hide it, and so it had. Like I was getting like kind of dill flavors and stuff like that coming off of it that I'd never noticed before. Not just kind of the piney muskiness that I had always noticed before. So I've like started to appreciate Mosaic hops a lot more for the kind of, I guess, herbaceous flavor qualities that they have, as opposed to just the like piney resininess that I think it's known for. That doesn't come through super strong here though. I know it's the Horus. I know it doesn't say it's aged, but there's something to this to me that comes across a little funky. But not crazy, like not over the top funky. The blueberry, I don't get much of at all. I think the blueberry probably they went a little too light. It gives it the color. It lends to the color for sure, but I'm not getting a lot of fruit or berry flavors at all. It's I wouldn't say it's definitely thin bodied, which is nice. I don't see it as a New England IPA. In fact, I don't see it listed as a New England IPA online. It does say it on the can itself, I think. But that's become so buzzy that you almost can't trust it sometimes. If something says it's New England IPA, that doesn't necessarily mean that it is. It's just like everyone just puts that at this point. Not a bad beer. I definitely like it. A big fan of Mumford in general. I think that their New England IPAs are actually fantastic, but I wouldn't put this in that same ilk. But I do like the beer for what it is, which is like like I said, it's a little funky, some blueberries. It's more of an IPA. It's a little straightforward with the Citra. You get a little mosaic. Malt. I mean, there's no malt characters at all. Just really like this is like a showcase more for like the hops and a little funk, and maybe the blueberries are giving it the funk. Maybe there was some kind of wild yeast on the blueberries if they used whole blueberries as opposed to like a puree, and that might be where that's coming from. I'm not sure because I wasn't involved in the brewing process. But all in all, it's a decent beer.
I imagine it's not very sweet, right? Because I feel like beer's
not at all.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's got some umami flavor actually to it. It's a little bit of that kind of, I hate to say it, but meatiness to it. Yeah, which is not bad.
Oh, I love that. I'm all about the meatiness and the funkiness.
Yeah.
If a beer or wine tastes kind of like the bottom of your foot or your armpit or the back of the barn,
oh God.
Right. That's what it's about. Yeah, and like I said, it balances out a little with the Citra, maybe a little herbal notes from the mosaic. I'm gonna give it 3.75, and that's more, just like I said, because I don't think it meets the style. If they sold this as a wild IPA with blueberries, I might take it more than if you're saying it's a New England double IPA, because I'm not getting any of the like kind of New Englandiness to it.
Gotcha. It sounds like a good beer overall, though. Overall, sounds like you like it.
For sure.
Sounds like they just gotta market it differently, and I hear that if it's like a little bit hazy, you can't see through the glass, they'll throw the New England tag on there oftentimes, and it's like, well, that's misleading now, because what you get is lightly accented blueberry beer. It's like, okay, cool, I can dig it, but you give me all promises and then you're not following through.
Yeah, this is marketed. This is an unfiltered wild IPA. That's what I market it as, and I think that gets, and I had something similar just yesterday from Highland Park. It was a wild IPA with black lemons and guava, and they said right on it wild IPA, and I knew what to expect, and they delivered what I expected. And this one, it just and I don't blame them, because Mumford is, I hate to say it, but they're having some issues. It seems they're in a really kind of sketchy part of town.
Oh man, are they ever?
Yeah, everyone who likes them loves them. I mean, I have people who argue with me that they're better than Monkish, and I don't disagree. I love them. I think their beers are fantastic, but they're just not buzzy, and they make really good New England IPAs. So I think that they're just trying to cash in on that marketability, as opposed to just kind of sticking with what they're best at, which unfortunately, or not even just sticking with their best at, but just being honest about what they're delivering, as opposed to just trying to stick that New England IPA on every can just so you could sell it, kind of mantra.
Yeah.
I hear that. Preach.
All right, Michael, you want to hit a beer now? Feeling ready for it?
I've been hitting some beer, hitting some wine, so I feel ready now.
Nice.
I'm drinking the New Feeling IPA from Temescal Brewing, which is in Oakland, a few miles from where I'm at right now. They oftentimes will use this service called the Can Van, which comes to different breweries and will can a big batch of beer, slap a label on it, and then distribute it to nice little bottle shops around.
Nice.
This is a cool little sort of, they're a small brewery, but they're kind of specializing in that. What I like is like kind of California beers. Really, they're staying true to a lot of lighter, refreshing, flavor profiles, and dabbling into herbal and floral and all sorts of like foofy hippie stuff that we love so much. This is, right. Make it weird and pretty. This is a fun one. It's mostly flavored with Motueka hops, which are from New Zealand. Pretty cool. They're like have a little bit of tropical undertones, but what I kind of like think about, and when I can just put my nose to it, it almost reminds me of like a mojito. It has some like liminess, but also like some pretty mint qualities too. It's slightly hazy in appearance, and the body is pretty solid. But it does have like a soft edge to it, which is cool because it doesn't compromise any of the hop flavor at all, which is pretty abundant. But it's not overpowering in any sense. So this might like disappoint some dude bros who are looking for the hoppiest beer that you have, but I think it could be like a nice sort of gateway IPA for people that are getting into IPAs, and they don't want to be bombasted with like this mouth and tongue numbing hoppiness. Less resiny, more nice like on the tropical. There's some Simcoe in there as well, which really adds to it. Yeah, I would say it's like, I think on the can it says an IPA not constrained by the East or the West, and I think that kind of like nails it right there. It's
Nice.
I like that.
Which in many ways is like my kind of IPA. You know, not that I'm not a hype beast, you know, and I do enjoy a good Northeast style IPA, and I love a good, you know, a super bombastic West Coast IPA. But there is something sexy about like a soft in between, which is, you know, in so many ways, it's just really fucking balanced. I could drink a few pints of these and not feel bad about myself at all.
It sounds like a
Right,
very
that's like-
accessible IPA. Like almost anyone would be able to enjoy it.
Oh,
Yeah.
I know what Adrian's talking about. I get you.
Yeah.
That's one thing
What?
that I've always found interesting is that Colorado is so big on the beer scene, but you never hear people talk about Colorado style IPAs. You know, like I think
Right.
that the only IPAs that come out of Colorado are usually considered like SoCal style, like San Diego style IPAs. But
Yeah,
you think they'd have their own style?
you'd think they would. I mean, because they'll boast about like, oh, these hops are all grown in Colorado. They come from, you know, one specific source or blah blah. I don't know how much any of that affects the taste and all that, but yeah,
Right. Well, I mean, okay, I'm trying to remember now. Is it Cascade? Right. There's Cascade that's grown in New Zealand, and then there's Cascade that's grown, or it's Australia, and then there's one that's grown in England. And they say that the flavor profile is totally different.
huh?
Oh,
So, yeah. So
Well, those are
think
two
it
very
does.
different climates on two opposite ends of the world, so I would imagine there would be
Right.
some difference. Yeah.
Yeah, so or it might be like Europe. It might not necessarily be England, but it's like European Cascade versus the New Zealand Cascade, or like from what I've heard, are totally different. I've never had like a single hopped variation from both like versions of Cascade, so I couldn't say for sure what I would say like for sure. But you know what's interesting about that Temescal beer? You said it's Simcoe and Monayuca, right?
Yeah.
Is that those to me? I like both, but those both feel like blending, like almost runner-up hops.
absolutely.
Like neither one of them is like a hop that you ever see. Like I don't ever see like a single hopped Monayuca IPA or like a single hopped Simcoe IPA. Those are usually always just used like as a blend IPA. They're hops that are within like other hops. They're not like superstar hops, you know?
Absolutely, they're like the working class hops that sort of round out a lot of stuff.
Yeah, but which I mean is also important because I think that people get so excited. Like Citra, I've had a couple right now. I guess it's like the 10-year anniversary of Citra, and so there's a lot of people who are making Citra only beers, like single hopped Citras and especially fresh Citras because it's fresh hop season right now. And Citra I think works really well as a single hop by itself, but there's so many other ones that I see single hops of and they'd be so much better in a blend. Like they really don't stand up on their own super well as a single hop. So it's like getting excited about like, oh, this hop is so good by itself. It doesn't work to me. Like hops are so much better in a beer blend. And like those two beers or those two hops, Monayuca and Simcoe, do really well blending with other hops. But yeah, like I think for me, New Zealand or Australian hops that I get excited for Huel Melon and Nelson, right? Those are like kind of the buzzier hops. I think there's another one too from New Zealand that I can't remember off the top of my head that people are really excited about. But Monayuca really feels like, yeah, like it's not treated with the same fervor.
It's on the come up right now.
That's true too.
It'll have-
Vic's Secret, that's the other one. Everyone is all about Vic's Secret right now.
big secret.
I don't think I've heard of it, but I guess that makes sense because it's a big secret.
Yeah, it's a secret. I mean, you know, it's Vic's Secret. Adrian.
Yes, sir.
Did you want to go for another beer, or should we take a break, or what should we do?
We can take a quick break, and then when we
Okay.
come back, we can do. I want to do a little bit of story time when we come back because we have Michael Della Torre here. There was
Let's
two.
do some story time now.
All right. Do you want to?
Do we have? I mean, is everyone drinking? Adrian, are you low on beer?
No, I'm not low at all. I'm actually.
Okay.
Yeah,
so
but-
let's do some story time while we drink these beers.
Well, let me take a quick break only because I have clothes in the wash. So
Okay.
I got to go put it in the dryer really quick.
Place to Be Nation's JT Rosero and Chad Campbell here. We want to let you know that we have a ton of great podcasts available to you on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, and PlayStation.com, and we offer those to you on 3 great feeds. On the Place to Be Nation wrestling feed, we bring you the Mothership, the original Place to Be podcast, as well as Main Event, Lucha Afterground, and our monthly pay-per-view reaction shows, as well as the Our Vantage Point podcast and Jeff Learns Wrestling. In addition to these full-length shows, we also deliver quick-hit pod blasts on topics old and new.
I'm back.
I forgot who I was talking to. I was talking to someone just recently about, like, the people who complain about gentrification and shit. And I'm always like, it's such a weird curmudgeonly thing to be super upset about if, like, you're still able to live in the neighborhood that you've always lived in and it's just nicer now. To be like, man, this place used to be shitty. It sucks now that it's nice. And it's just like, it's the same thing with the, like, old man IPA heads who are like, yeah, I remember back when Pliny was the best IPA and it kind of, it's, you know, it's good, it's super bitter, and it's just, it makes you fucking upset while you drink it because it's so good. And you're like, yeah, but it's not the best IPA now. We have better IPAs, and, like, we have ones that are balanced and don't just make you fucking hate your life while you drink them. Like, why is that a bad thing? That
Because you're supposed to hate your life.
yeah, I want these beers to be fucking terrible. Like, I just want them to make me mad. I'm like, no, I want them to be good. I want, like, I'm not even hating on Pliny. I like Pliny. It's not Russian River's best IPA, but it's good, you know?
Yeah, I hear you on that. Those fucking old heads.
Yeah, man.
Damn
They're crazy.
old heads.
They're fucking crazy. All right, Adrian, you want to do some story time, or you want
Yeah.
to do some more beer?
Story time. I mean, we can drink and talk at the same time, but so we're back, right? We're just back. We're
Oh yeah, we're just back.
yeah, like you said, we're a little looser on this episode. No, so Mike, you talked about wine earlier, and that reminded me of a story when you and Tim, I think, went to a wine tasting in San Diego back in the day. Do you guys remember that at all?
Nope.
Oh yeah, that was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I mean, can you talk about that story really quick? I always I remember that story for some reason. I don't know why it stands out in my head, but
Okay.
yeah, what'd you guys do? Like, what was that like?
I don't even remember why we went. Mike, what were we going for what was, like, the reason we were going?
Well, we were probably hanging out with my sister and my brother-in-law,
Yeah.
who are, like, bona fide winos. Self-made winos as well. And we were in probably East County, San Diego, where they have, you know, they have some vineyards and whatnot. So I'd assume, like, we were just kind of tagging along. I'm having trouble remembering this story, so give me a little more context.
Yeah,
like,
if memory serves me correctly, maybe I'm wrong on this, but Tim, I think you mentioned something about, like, you went to somebody's house and you tried to get in or something, and you ended up sleeping outside
Yes.
on their porch or something like that.
Yes, I remember that part. We went, and I think we were late.
I'm cracking
earlier
open
than
the pinner,
everyone
by the
else.
way, the pinner IPA. I'm gonna crack that open when you guys tell me. Sorry, go ahead.
And okay. And I think we went to. I feel like either we went to, like, Ocean Beach or we were at some friend's house or something.
This is a C.B. Anders story. Actually.
Oh yes. Okay, and we went to the camp.
A
Right,
camp?
Yeah, we went to
Oh,
the
yeah.
camp.
We
I
went
think that's why we were going to San Diego, honestly, now that I think of it. Maybe it wasn't.
Okay, so I think I just moved back from San Diego, and we were going to visit. I think we were going to stay with my sister's older coworkers who were also winos. I think wine tasting was definitely involved in this story, but
Yes.
I think we were kicking it with an old coworker who also happened to go to high school with us, who I used to work with at a summer camp, a kids summer camp, and we were going over at his house, and we were playing some beer pong, I think, with him because, you know, like, we were only a few years out of college. This is what you do. You get good at something. You don't want to lose those skills, you know?
Yeah.
True.
And we were commenting rather.
It's just like misgendering people. Like, I understand that, like, trans rights and everything, but I got really good at misgendering people. I don't want to give that up now that I'm supposed to respect them as humans. You know what I mean?
Wow.
Absolutely. What I remember fondly is being, we were kind of banking on staying the night at this old high school buddy's house. But after about 6-7 beers in, I quickly realized that all the shit talking we were doing mostly centered around his incomplete American flag beer pong team.
Yes.
Which did not have any stars painted in yet.
No.
And judging by the patina of the paint job, the thing had been around for a few years. So he was just, like, definitely like didn't know how to ask for help and like, hey, can you help me paint stars? I'm dyslexic, but so I can paint. We were just like throwing the shit at him like pretty heavily, and I don't think he took to it very well. I think he thought it as a threat to his patriotism. So we had to leave his house probably around midnight and drive about 35 minutes up north to the house that we were going to stay at maybe the next night. But I think it was probably close to 1 a.m. by the time we got there. And, like I said, they were all winos, so they were heavily, heavily passed out. And we spent about 20 minutes knocking on the windows and the doors, ringing the doorbells. Nobody seemed to hear a single sound at all.
No. You would think. I think there was even dogs in there. Like, the dogs didn't even wake up.
The dogs actually came to the window and were like, what's up? What do y'all need? Yeah. Owners are sleeping. Yeah. So we ended up sleeping on the wooden deck, which was, at that time of the year, it wasn't an awful time to sleep outside, I suppose.
Yeah.
No, it was cool. I wouldn't call it cold. I mean, it's Southern California, it's San Diego, so it doesn't get freezing, but it does get a little bit colder than maybe you're used to because you're kind of spoiled from sleeping inside.
Yeah.
All the time. So I think I remember having a sock off, and I kind of wish that I hadn't removed one of my socks, but
just one.
Yeah, just one sock.
Just the one sock.
Yeah, but yeah, from there I think eventually someone woke up. Because I think I actually do remember getting inside on a air mattress for like 2 hours. Like, it was the amount of time where it was pointless. Where you're like, why did you even let us in at this point? You should have just waited until it was time to like actually just get up for the day.
Yeah.
I think I remember that. Or that might have even been the next night. I don't even know. But we ended up on an air mattress at some point.
Wow.
Like hitting REM when they invited you inside to sleep on an air mattress.
Yeah, it's like it's always the worst. And then it's an air mattress, so that takes like a good 3 hours to fall asleep on, honestly.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you're used to kind of living that wine life,
living that wine life.
Yeah, you could fall asleep almost anywhere, so it's not a.
Well, I mean, how lit were you guys? I mean, did you guys do a lot of drinking before? Like, how drunk were you guys?
Not really.
No?
Not really.
Well, I probably shouldn't have driven, but I've driven that route about 100 times already in my life, so
right.
I knew what I was doing. But in retrospect, I don't remember sleeping. I don't remember falling asleep on the patio. So we were obviously like enjoying ourselves enough for me to not care how uncomfortable I was, or I was drunk enough to not care.
Right.
Yeah, and I want to probably assume that there was like furniture on the patio, but we just fell asleep on the patio itself, like instead of like in a chair or something.
Oh, right.
Because you know how it goes.
I don't, because I've never been in that situation, but that's why I wanted to.
Like you have.
I don't think so.
Adrian, when was the last time that you saw an American flag that did not have stars on it?
Oh man, I honestly don't think I've ever seen that.
Okay, so it's a shocking idea.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
Sacrilege,
Absolutely.
How do you not have the stars on there? That's the blue field, man. That's what represents everything that is America, right there in one square. All 50 states.
The only thing that could have made it worse is if it had the gold fringe. That's the only thing that could have made it worse.
Right.
No stars with gold fringe. Then you're like, is this even America at this point?
I don't think so, man.
Well, it's all looks like it's all sass, no class at that point.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys know me. I'm all about that rock, flag, and eagle. I don't mess around when it comes to,
Adrian says, "Fuck the stars. I'm putting a golden eagle."
Yes.
These colors
Just
don't run, my friends.
Oh, that's fantastic. I think I remember too from there. So then the next day we go to the vineyard. The vineyard was fun. I think we picked some grapes off the vine that we weren't supposed to. I remember that.
That was good.
Yeah, I think I remember someone wanted some lanterns, and I think we took a couple of them that were just hanging up in some shed outside.
There's a lot of IKEA lanterns that my cousin wanted to steal. She's kind of like a drunk klepto, so.
Yes.
Jeez.
So I remember that. Speaking of which, she seems like she's doing really well now. I mean, Who knows?
She's living that like traveling lifestyle right now.
Yeah.
Her man's made a bunch of money flipping houses, and so they're like, "Fuck it, we're just gonna travel the world for 2 years or the rest of our lives."
That's cool,
Right?
though. I
Well,
appreciate
what's
that.
crazy is she's like a lawyer, no? She like has like her full law degree and shit, but
Yeah.
she's like, fuck it, I don't need to work, which is really cool.
A super feminist too, which is like very ironic when you start to unpack all of this.
I think I know who you guys are talking about. I won't say names, but I think I know who you guys are talking about.
Yeah, we're talking about Michael's cousin.
Yeah. Well, no, but
Who's a
at first I
I
didn't
feel
know.
like
Now I
everyone
know.
knows who we're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, it doesn't really matter, does it? I mean,
No.
None of them listen to the podcast, and
and we're not saying anything bad.
No.
facts as well.
Yes.
Fake
But
news.
yeah, I think I remember we did that, and then we were gonna go to dinner, and then I was like, I think I for some reason I remember pushing going to Green Flash. I wanted to go to the Green Flash Brewery really bad, but we ended up going to Stone, I think, which was still fun. We went to like the bistro.
Nice.
Yeah.
But I was like trying to get us to go to Green Flash like the whole time. I was like trying to tell everyone to go, which always happens with me in these kind of settings. I always like have the I've got the best idea. Everyone listen to me with my great idea, and then it just kind of either pans out or it doesn't. But yeah, I remember Stone being really, really fun.
I remember that struggle because it was like, hey, let's go to like a really good brewery, and then the like response from the group was, well, this brewery has a castle.
Yes. That was essentially it. It was like, yeah, they have a grotto with like an enchanted fucking forest and lights and shit. And I'm like, yeah, but I want to like go to somewhere that has beer that I really want to drink. Not to like shit on Stone, because Stone does have some good beer, but it's like I haven't drank a Stone beer in probably like 3 or 4 years at this point. So you know what I mean? Like, I'm not saying they're bad, but that I was just kind of trying to push us that way. But like I said, the Stone was good. I couldn't even remember what I drank that night, honestly, though, at the Stone. What's up?
I do. I remember their oatmeal stout.
Okay.
But not even if it was good or if I enjoyed it, but I just remember the group mentality, which I get sucked up into sometimes. It was all about like the beer that tasted like oatmeal, but also like coffee and chocolate and had this crazy body to it.
Right.
So I guess I did enjoy it. I remember walking around the grounds pretty drunkenly and thinking this would be really fun on mushrooms.
Yes, I remember that conversation, which is definitely true. But yeah, I'm trying to think. I know that they probably had some like collab, and I might have even had like a collab sour beer at that point.
Yeah, they're
Like
probably dabbling. This was what 2010 at this point, I'd say.
Right.
2011, 2009 maybe.
Yeah, because I remember I went and I was like looking at the list of like specialty collab beers that they had at the time, because I was like, well, if I'm gonna be at Stone, I'm gonna drink something that's at least brewed impartially by someone else. Just being a complete dick about it. And yeah, I think they had like some kind of sour that was probably like New Belgian Stone collab at that point, honestly. But yeah, it was like 2006. It was pretty good from what I can recall. I think at that point I also thought it was expensive, which it was probably like $6 for a fucking little goblet or something. You know, it was like 8 ounces for $6, and I was like, that's a little steep, right? I mean, I don't know. Because I was still a child at that point.
You're still a child. Wow.
We were poor. We were poor.
But I mean,
Yeah, I know.
it just shows that you don't have to be rich to have fun, because you guys seem to have a pretty fun weekend in San Diego.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, we were definitely like milking off of my sister and brother-in-law as much as we could as well.
Yeah, I don't.
Hey,
I didn't.
you should try this beer to get this bottle.
I don't remember paying anything at the winery. Like, honestly, I think that they just bought everything.
Well, that's the beauty of hanging out with winos, is that if like you show them that you're having a good time with the alcohol of choice that they're choosing to imbibe in at that moment, they then want to just carry on that feeling and will just buy more and more rounds for you, because it's like you're sort of drinking the Kool-Aid that they're mixing.
Nice.
Yeah, right.
And then they have more people to drink with, and then they don't feel as awful having to drink wine alone all the time.
Well,
All
that.
right, Adrian, how was that pinner?
Yeah. So this is a really good. floral IPA. It's not super dank, which I like. And it's called a throwback IPA. So I don't know if that means that this is how they made IPAs back in the day. I was thinking about this last night. I was like, when did they even start making IPAs? Like the 80s or something? I don't know.
Well, they started making IPAs in like the 1800s.
Oh, well, it shows how much I know. But
Yeah, because there's that whole. I mean, the idea that it was made for the European trips to India. That's why they call it India Pale Ale.
Right.
Because the idea that they overhopped it so that it would preserve, but that also there's the fact that that's just none of that's true.
Oh, really? Damn.
That's a good story.
It's a great story.
That's like
why
that's like the fucking the kangaroo story. You guys ever seen the movie Arrival? And so she says, so the word kangaroo.
Kevin Spacey in it?
Yeah, no. You're thinking of Capex. The fake story is that like when they arrived to Australia, they asked the aborigines, how do you say that? Aboriginal, like, hey, what's that animal hopping around over there? And they're like, kangaroo. And I guess in their language, kangaroo means we don't know what you're saying right now, but that word just kind of stuck. But that's not actually true. That didn't happen. It's bullshit. So,
okay.
So that's the that's the beer version of kangaroo, I guess.
Well, yeah. So they've been making them forever, and there's signs to show that like they were made for flavor. Like
right.
It was the same thing as now. Like they were making them with a bunch of hops because they wanted them to. Which actually Samuel Smith makes a lot of really good English style IPAs. But so the throwback IPA, when you're talking about American wise, it's going to be a throwback to probably like early 80s, probably like mid 80s to early 90s, before the like SoCal San Diego IPA kind of took over. So it's going to be more like the original Torpedo, because the Torpedo now is a lot more citrusy than it used to be. It's going to be more of that flavor. So it's going to be that early 90s kind of microbrew, homebrew flavor. It's going to be a lot more biscuity. Going to have a lot more of a malt profile than now, and it's going to have a lot more of like the sea hops, but like I said, the Cascade from England, the ones that are a little bit more, I guess, musky, a little bit more resiny, and that's going to be kind of the flavor. So you're going to get like more of a like biscuity dankness with like a musky hop profile is what the throwback is going to be.
Yeah. So
like I used to hate the throwback IPA, which is like an old school IPA, same style from Highland Park, but I've started to enjoy it now more as I've kind of got used to it. But that's like your granddad's IPA. That's the IPA from those guys like we were talking about earlier that like you're supposed to drink this beer and hate it.
Right.
So that's why it's like it takes you a while to enjoy it, because you don't like instantly really like that style.
Yeah.
As I said, the pinner with the passion fruit is fantastic.
I haven't had that, but this one, I mean, even the can is throwback. Like it's like mostly white with gold, like a golden gray trim. And let me read you the commercial description really quick. A 4.9% ABV, 35 IBU, so it's not super bitter. This drinkable IPA uses several varieties of hops to target the ever-evolving flavor with tropical fruits, citrus juices, pineapple, and spiceberry up in front. The aroma and flavor. The biscuit and toasted bread at the back balance out all the hops and make a great finish to go on to your next can of Pinner. It's the perfect beer for a little sip, give. It has an overall score on Untapped of what is it, 3.69, which I think is kind of low actually for a beer this good.
Yeah,
but I don't know. I think I gave it a 4.0 back when I first rated it on here. It's light, it's hoppy, it's smooth, it's fruity, it's piney according to this. I definitely taste the hops and the fruitiness of it, which I think is a good balance of all that. But like I said, it's not super dank. I feel like everybody nowadays wants to make the dankest IPA in the world, but this beer it doesn't have that. So I feel like almost anyone could enjoy it.
Make the dankest IPA. Why would you even mess around with anything that's balanced and you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So here's a question: like super bright IPAs, do you like them like brighter or more of the kind of New England? Adrian, because Adrian, I feel like we never really talk about this. Like, do you like the bright, shiny IPAs, or do you like the more muddled New England style? I don't feel like you've had very many New England style IPAs.
I don't feel like I have either. When you say bright, what do you mean exactly by bright?
I always liken brightness to more of like that citrus kind of clean.
Oh, then
flavor.
I definitely lean more towards that. I do.
More of the like bright. Okay, so like, I don't know how to explain it like exactly. Michael, when you think of a bright IPA, like, how do you think of it? It's like, it is kind of that crisp, clean. It's kind of like you take a drink and, like, as soon as you've swallowed it, it's gone, kind of
Yeah,
thing.
there's something okay. Like instantly, it's refreshing. Yeah, I think of like warm weather beer, and then also there's also this like drying effect as well that it does, where you kind of want to take another swig just to like get that hit again. But yeah, citrus, tartness, sourness even could be like bright as well. It has a bit of a punchy quality to it, where it just sort of smacks you a little bit and tells you how delicious it is.
Yeah, see, my favorite IPA, which is actually an APA, it's the Drumroll APA by Odell, is more like along those lines of what you just described. So I guess I just lean more towards that style of IPA, not so much. I mean, what is a New England style IPA exactly? Is it less citrusy, less fruity, more hoppy? Would you say?
Fruity. It's more floral. So like, this is the argument, right? Because New England style IPA isn't a style yet. But to me, New England style IPA, number one, it's hazy. Number one, it's got that kind of that big mouth feel that really kind of coats your whole mouth, and it's got like big flavors that kind of hit every region of your tongue. A lot of it is going to be floral on the nose, and you're going to get a lot more of that kind of flavors. And then the actual drinking it, you're going to get a lot of like juiciness, tropical fruits. Yeah, like stuff that you think of like juices, orange juice, pineapple juice, grapefruit juice. You're kind of getting more of that and less bitter.
Right.
With sometimes there is I think a lot of people have this because it's got like a soft water body. So a lot of times like after you're done drinking it, it really is going to leave something even sometimes in like a painful way on the back of your tongue. That's going to give you like you're really going to feel it more, honestly.
Right.
Like I said, the kind of bright, crisp stuff kind of leaves, while the New England style really hangs out on the back of your tongue, primarily to me.
Would you say that a red IPA falls under that? Sorry, would you say that a red IPA would that fall underneath more?
I mean, a red IPA is going to give you a little bit more kind of from the malt profile from the rye. Usually, is what they use to make the red kind of IPAs. You're going to get a little bit more of that kind of sting on the back from the malt, but it's not quite the same.
Okay.
Yeah, I think even New England styles traditionally have a little bit more malt to them than a West Coast style as well, and I think that's a little bit been neglected lately. Like people will call it a New England, but the malt and the body is a lot of times the result of the malt. So if you don't have the body, then it's kind of not really a New England style, and if you don't have that like that sweetness of that malt character carrying it all, then in my opinion, it's like kind of not really saying what it is. If it's hazy and you call it New England, I think that's just a marketing tactic at that point.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, they use like rolled oats. It's like a lot of rolled oat tends to be used in the malt profile of a New England IPA, and what it does is it adds a kind of a protein kind of patina to the beer that like adds up the thickness, but also I guess binds. It's supposed to bind with like the terpenes and other things that come out of the hops, to kind of it traps in the bitterness, but it releases the kind of the floral and herbaceous notes more. So that's kind of the whole thing with the malt characteristics of New England IPAs, and that's like the argument because people say like, oh, it's the haze is coming because you didn't properly filter your yeast. But when you kind of break them down scientifically, you actually see that it's not the yeast that's causing the haziness. It's actually an interplay chemical reaction between the hops, like the hop terpenes, and the protein from the malt that's causing it. It actually has nothing to do with the yeast.
Interesting.
But that's when you like break down the scientific sides of it.
Yeah.
Okay, so my next beer is from Gunwale Ales in Orange County, California, which has been kind of my home away from home lately. I've been spending a lot of time in Orange County, just because there's a lot of really great breweries there. They also have a food restaurant chain called Raisin Cane's, that a friend of mine told me about.
I've heard of
it's
that.
All over.
Is that a chicken place?
Yeah, it's a chicken finger place.
Ooh.
They make spicy chicken fingers with crinkle cut fries, and they serve it with a cane sauce, which is kind of a cayenne aioli. So it's like a cayenne pepper aioli that's just phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So yeah, I love Raisin Cane's. So when I'll go out to OC and I'll get some Raisin Cane's and go to some of these beer places. Gun Whale is one of the newer OC breweries. They're very interesting because they have a lot of different styles. They make a lot of really great saisons. When I went there to buy these cans, I actually bought a couple. I actually had some tasters of a couple different saisons that they had that were like herbed, like actually herbed with like sage and brush and different like lemongrass herbed saisons and stuff like that I thought were really good. They have a hazy saison that's kind of their go-to. It's called the old Rackety, and it's kind of a really good like straight up saison. Got some citrus, got some Amarillo hops. It's pretty nice stuff, but they kind of go all over the place. But you know they cashed in on the Haysbro thing, and they released a hazy can. But they also at the same time released a Fooder aged double IPA that I was like, fantastic. I'm gonna get in on this bad boy. So I bought a couple of packs of that. So it's a Fooder aged double IPA. Don't know what the hops are, honestly. It's like does that even matter with a beer like this? But yeah, it's Fooder fermented. Got Saccharomyces or whatever that bacteria is. 9% double wild. It's a wild double IPA. It's super hazy, but it's not terpene. It doesn't have that full mouthfeel. It gives you more of a frothy kind of head rather than the kind of effervescent head that you expect from something like this more often than not. And it looks like a glass of like orange juice that's maybe been sitting a little bit too long. It's kind of a little gray mixed in with the bright citrusy flavor or colors. I'll give it a quick taste and kind of talk to you guys on the other side, I guess.
I was going to say, I need to be more on the lookout for this New England style IPA stuff because I feel like I haven't really had enough of that. So next time I go to the store, I'm at the any particular breweries that you would recommend that make that style that are readily available?
Well, I don't know Colorado that well. So for me, that's the problem with the hazy IPAs is they have to be fresh. But I mean, out here, it's like Modern Times is really good. McKellar is fine. Monkish is obviously like people consider it the kind of the gold standard.
Yeah.
I would probably assume that like New England or New Belgium has to make something like that. Then when you're talking about East Coast, there's Trillium, Hill Farmstead, other half.
I think
Hired
Trillium
Hands.
is readily available. I'll have to check them out.
No, if you can get Trillium easily, then you should be drinking that shit as much as possible.
Maybe I'm thinking about somebody else, but yeah.
You might be, but maybe you're thinking of True.
Possibly.
So this is phenomenal.
Is it?
I definitely had it when it first came out, which was a couple weeks back. But since then, it's kind of mellowed out. It's got really grabs you. It's super funky. Get that horse blanket kind of flavor coming through, but really grabs you deep with the bitterness coming. Like the hops are really latent because they've been sitting, so you're getting like some hop flavor coming through. But up front, I mean, there's no malt profile at all. It's just funk. It's primarily only funk.
But how
that
dank
comes
is
through
it?
on this. Yeah, but not. I mean, honestly, no dankness. The hops are like at this point super muddled to the point where you don't get anything but just like a slight kind of bitter overtone. But at the same time, it's just like I kind of love that. The esters come through really fruity. There's some like I guess you'd say like stone fruit esters coming through. I'm in love with this. It smells like rotten cheese or something. Like it's just it's really this is something else now that it's been sitting for a little bit, which is tough because I'm just like, oh man, I wish I had saved more of this, but I've already at this point drank so much of it that I have almost none left. Because it's really good now that it's been sitting. I'd almost want to let it sit even longer to see how it continues to kind of adapt and grow.
It's gonna evolve, Tim, just like you.
Yeah, Gunwell Ales really make some phenomenal beers, and I highly recommend them. If you can get your hands on them, I would say definitely try it as much as you can because they're doing their own thing. Like they're not just essentially releasing the same beers that everyone else does. Like they're making some beers to be trendy and get people to pay attention to them, but at the same time, they're also making really great beers that are like totally different from that.
Nice.
Doing the Lord's work.
Uh-huh.
What was that one called again? Sorry, what was it called again?
It's called
Tim?
Chap Lips. It's a
Chap
double
Lips?
IPA from Gunwale. Yeah.
Chap
Chap.
lips.
Chap.
Do you think that the yeast is coming in stronger now that the hops is sort of mellowed out since it's not as fresh anymore? If you wait another week or 2 weeks, like I feel like that yeast character is going to kind of like start to own the experience of that beer.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. Because when I had it fresh, it definitely had a lot more hoppiness to it. And like I said, now you're getting a lot more like esters, fruit esters, horse blankety kind of feel. And I think as it continues to age, it's going to get even better.
I like the art on that
Sounds
can,
wonderful.
by the way. Are you drinking out of a can or a bottle?
Can.
I like the art. It's very
It's boozy as fuck too. Like that's the crazy thing is it's really boozy. It's 9%, and it tastes like it's like 12%. Honestly,
Damn.
Like it's very boozy.
that sounds boozy. It sounds delicious as well.
Sounds coming in hot right there.
Gun whales.
Yeah, right. I definitely getting some like cucumbery kind of esters to it as well. This is definitely a top-notch beer. I'm into this guy.
Yeah, it looks super hazy from a picture I'm looking at. Wow.
Right, but it's hazy. But it's hazy, not like a hazy New England IPA. It's hazy from being wild fermentation.
Yeah, it looks like juice.
This is
man.
hazy from the yeast.
Yeah, it looks like juice of some kind, like a tangerine, not a tangerine, like a grapefruit juice or something.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, it's super hazy.
Into it. I want to drink that right now. Give me that.
Alrighty. So, anything else you wanted to say about that beer, Tim?
No, I think I'm done with this one. I think it's if Mike has another beer he wants to try out, it's time.
Let's do it.
Yeah, you said cucumber, and that was kind of the fruit that I was looking for as I've been drinking this white IPA from Fog Belt, which is in Santa Rosa, California. And so it's like a white IPA is basically it's sort of a cross between an IPA and a Belgian wit beer, and so you're gonna get a little bit more of that spiciness, which pairs super well with bitterness and IPAs, and I think it's a really cool combo. This is balanced out by some nice cucumber nose. Like you smell it, and it's like summer like Mexican fruit salad, where you, which is a pretty unique experience. But it's got some nice tropical things happening. The lemon and lemon rind. I like lemon rind as a descriptor because it's twofold. You get brightness and tartness from the fruit itself, but then you also get that really cool like bitter undertone that permeates the drink. This is not hazy at all. Super crispy clear. It's got like an amber golden color, similar to like you would imagine like the Jurassic Park fossils being
Nice.
encased in. Yeah, it's a really wonderful beer actually. I kind of think that like white IPA might be like my hype beast favorite beer for a little while. The head is pretty dense and frothy. Although it's mellowed out a little bit since I've been drinking. I'm going to take another swig just to reacquaint myself.
Alrighty.
Please do. Yeah, I like a really good white IPA. And me and Adrian, we took a trip to El Segundo, which is known as like a kind of a hop bomb IPA spot. And I think both of us, our favorite beer from there was it was called the Passion Dog, and it was a mix of their white IPA with passion fruit. That was just like phenomenal. So yeah, the white IPA style really, the mix of styles really lends itself to like really good, interesting flavors in there.
Yeah, there's a lot that can happen, and now that I'm taking a fifth and a sixth and a seventh swig from here, I'm getting like a lot of maltiness as well, which was kind of hidden underneath a lot of that like bright floral tropical shit that was going on, and the like really, I mean, it is a pretty beer, I will say that, but there's also some like punchy bitterness that's going on there, where like I take a sip and about 10-15 seconds later I'm still feeling some tingles on my tongue, which was not the case at all for the Temescal, which I was telling Tim during I wanted to just like chug the rest of it out of a can just because it was so crushable. This on the other hand, I wouldn't dare to do so. more or less, I think it's got a lot more complexity than the previous IPA that I was drinking, and yeah, it makes you sit with it. The resin is nice. I mean, I think I've took a sip about 30 seconds ago, and I'm still kind of getting little resiny snaps on the tongue at this point. So, well played, Fog Belt out of Santa Rosa.
Fog. That's the name of the brewery, Fog Belt.
Fog Belt, yes, brewing company.
Fog.
This particular beer is called Tree 76 White IPA. That's the full name, and this is clocking in at 7.3, so almost a double.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and it looks like it's named after a fairly historic redwood up in the Muir Woods that's 777 years old, which is called Tree 76. So, I gotta represent the Bay Area and a little bit of, casual hippy dippiness right there.
Nice.
I love that. Well, there's something to me, regionality, man, is where it's at. Like, I don't know, this like homogenized, like basically everything is the same thing. It's gotten super tired to me. I don't know about you, but I love the like regional goodness that you can find in certain little spots, and I don't want to like pretend like I have it here. I want to actually go and experience it where it's at,
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and like getting this, like the resin sort of like carryover of this beer, I'm looking at this description and I'm like, yeah, of course, like you're in a redwood, you get like these really like piney, super, intense smells when you're in, a grove of any sort. So I can see the relationship between location and then the brew that's produced as a result of it, and then being like paying homage to it, So, if it's like cold and a little bit foggy and brisk, you would drink this beer. Whereas the Temescal, like you're on a sunny Oakland, summertime afternoon, you want to crush like a nice soft IPA. It makes sense.
I'm looking at their list of beers on Untappd, and a lot of this stuff sounds really good. I almost wish I could try some of this. Try some of their beers.
Yeah, it's Fog Tree? Is that? Oh no,
Fog Belt.
Yeah, Fog Belt sounds phenomenal.
It has something called Ales for Autism.
Took a look, and took a look to look up this Chap Lips, what hops are here, and it's the Holler Tuque Blanc, Huel Melon, and Monayuca has come back. Look at it.
Blanc is like a really cool hop because it's got a lot of like Sauvignon Blanc wine grape flavor to it, which is like, Huel Melon as well has some of that going on as well.
Yeah.
And I find that a lot up here. Santa Rosa is wine country more than it is beer country, so it makes sense that they'd be, using hops that sort of bring about that subtle complexities.
Yeah, exactly. And there's definitely, as I kind of think about that, like it's you want to be able to say you can taste it on its own, but when you get a little nudge, you start to really like appreciate the flavors that are coming through, So yeah, that sounds insane. It really sounds phenomenally good.
Yeah, let's drink this when you come up to Oakland.
Yeah, that feels like a spot to check out, this Fog Belt. I mean, it's Santa Rosa. It's not super out of the way. Definitely a place to check out because they sound like they're doing their thing. Like, there's so many good breweries up there, but I'm just like, I looked and like I was like, oh, I could take a I mean, they sold obviously to is it Asahi? Yeah, or Sapporo. But Anchor, they're not privately owned anymore. But I was like looking at it and I was like, oh, I could still take an Anchor tour if I wanted to. Like, there's actually openings within the week that I'm going to be there. I could go do it. But I was like, do I really want to go to Anchor? Like, I think that it's really cool to see the history and all that. But I'm also kind of like, maybe I want to fucking check out like what's going on right now.
Yeah.
And not worry about like the history of how cool it is that this beer existed. Like, I'm going to have that modern day hotness.
I hear that. I think there's room for both. I think we can do it. I'm sad to say that like I've lived in the Bay for 7 years and I still haven't been to Anchor.
Okay.
But just heard stories and stories of how wonderful it is, and they sold out like 4 or 5 years ago, truly. But majority of ships. but I think it's like important to like understand history, and it's also understand like where we're going as well, because where we're going wouldn't be anywhere without where we were.
Right.
So with that in mind, Tim, we're gonna do let's do Anchor and Fog Belt in the same day.
Yeah, fuck it. Right? I mean, Fog Belt is right there, so we might as well go to Russian River.
Yeah, I mean, and I think they're still, standing, which is something really special to say after these crazy fires that were like hitting their area and really close. So we should support a business that's surviving, I would say.
Right.
For sure.
It's struggling too. This this chapped lips, as it warms up, it definitely starts to release a lot more flavors. It's because it is kind of got that funkier backbone. I didn't really think about that it was super cold when I was first drinking it. But as I let it kind of warm up, it definitely releases a lot more complexity to the overall flavors, which is fantastic. Like that's another thing too. It's just like these crushable beers, right? It's like you pound them while they're still like ice cold. But for me, I'm always all about like different wild ales, different stouts and stuff like that, where you get a lot more flavor as you let it kind of get to the room temperature. It starts to bring out a lot more depth that you didn't know was there.
Nice.
Yeah. Absolutely.
All right.
Getting like bubblegum, which is weird, but I'm liking it.
So what we should do now, gentlemen, if you don't mind, is we should take a quick break, and then we come back. We should do one more story time segment. What does that sound?
Okay, that sounds good.
Only Feed, we dive deep inside the wrestling business with a stacked army of experts leading the way. The Feed features potpourri shows such as This Week in Wrestling, Greetings from Allentown, Psychology is Dead, Puro Potpourri, Stacy and Elliot's Bogus Journey, and the Military Industrial Suplex. We also have shows that focus intently on certain topics like Letters from Center Stage, Space City, and NWA Classics on Demand Adventure, Through the Years, Strong Style History, Strong Style Story, and Mount Olympus. Plus, the feed has the full archives of legendary shows like Titans of Wrestling, Where the Big Boys Play, Letters from Kayfabe, and much more. And on our popular Place to Be Nation Pop podcast feed, we offer such great shows as the Glenn Butler Podcast Hour Spectacular, Rank and File, PTBN Dadcast, Go Home in a Box, NBA Team, and Lucha Undead, as well as a veritable podcast heaven for comics fans with the Hard Traveling Fanboys, Sellers Points, Todd Weber's Conversation, Geek and Sassy, and Imaginary Stories podcasts.
You can find all of these current shows plus archives of our past podcasts, including The Kevin Kelly Show, as well by subscribing to all of our feeds on iTunes, and while there, be sure to rate and leave feedback as well. All of these shows, plus others, available on PlacementNation.com, where we cover pro wrestling, sports, movies, comics, plus in-depth stretch projects and more. Be sure to support our site by using PlacementNation.com/Amazon when shopping online, and download our free PTB Vintage Vault Refresh ebooks via the links on our site. We also want to thank our friends at Bonehead's Wing Bar in West Warwick, Rhode Island, and Fall River, Massachusetts, TheHistoryOfWrestling.com, and Scott Keats' Blog of Doom. Be sure to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Tumblr as well. PlacementNation.com, the only place to be in your pop culture world.
All right, we're back. So this story involves the three of us. Yes, this is the time. This is the time we went to LA to see Das Racist. Remember them? Yeah.
Oh, so good.
That was a fun night. I think they were playing at two different venues, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, we went to both too.
We went to both, and the first one was at some hotel or something, and they were playing in front of a pool.
That was fucking crazy, right?
Yeah.
So
what was up
bougie.
with that? I never even thought you could perform anything in front of a pool. But there they were.
Yeah, it was like so for people listening to this, it's like where the crowd would normally be standing up against the stage, there was just a giant fucking pool right there.
And it was like kind of a bougie environment where everyone was getting poolside service, but nobody was actually in the pool because it was like sundown.
Yeah, it was sundown, and it was like in the middle. It was Los Angeles, downtown LA. Actually, it might have been Hollywood. And it was like fucking. I don't think it was winter, but it wasn't like summer hit up the pool weather, you know?
Not at all.
No.
And I think it was so ridiculous, and I think even the band knew that it was ridiculous because I have fond memory of Kool-Aid sort of putting one leg in the water, one leg, resting his elbow on, and just like flipping water with his feet. It's like very lackadaisical manner of like, look at me, we're performing next to a pool right now. I have to comment on this.
Oh god damn! I'm trying to like figure out where it is, but Adrian, you have more story?
No. So I just remember. Well, it rained that day, and we went in my car.
Did it?
It did, and I remember we stopped at Walmart first because my windshield wipers weren't in good weren't in good condition. So
They were in disarray.
They were in disarray. So we had to go to freaking Walmart and buy some new windshield wipers and like install them like in the. It wasn't pouring rain, but it was still raining. We had to install them in the rain, and then drive to LA 2 hours to get to. I don't remember where we parked either because LA is LA and it's like hard to park. We got there like we saw them ahead of time. I think they were just kind of hanging out by the pool before they went up to perform. And I remember thinking, oh wow, that's like totally them right there. And Tim, you were just like, yeah, calm down. Like they're not like those kind of guys you just walk up to and be like, hey, I'm such a big fan of yours or whatever. Is what you told me at the time, if I remember correctly.
Probably.
Because you don't want to just be like a super big nerdy fanboy, right? But not that we were, but still, it was just kind of cool seeing them hanging out. And then I remember between that show and then them going to the next venue, I was prank calling this one girl. I think you guys remember who I'm talking about.
Oh shit!
I'll say her name, but I'll bleep it out. Crystal Kittle. Remember Crystal?
Yes.
Oh
yeah.
I was prank calling Crystal for some random reason. And then she was she was blowing Tim's phone up, like asking her what the hell was my problem. Why was I calling her? And you were just like,
because you thought you were slick, but you were not.
What was your true intention here, Adrian?
I didn't really have it. I think I was just like bored, and I was like, oh yeah, I have that girl's number. I'm gonna prank call her just because there's nothing else to do right now. And I remember Tim was the one that was having to deal with it because she was calling him, blowing his phone up, and asking him like,
yeah, 'cause she was able to instantly find out and knew that it was you that was prank calling her.
You know what the funniest thing is? I totally denied it later, and at first she didn't believe me, and then one day she was like messaging me on Facebook. She's like, "Oh, by the way, sorry that I didn't believe you at the time. I believe now that it wasn't you who prank called me that night." And I was like laughing. I was like, "Oh,
really?"
Yeah, she actually like in the end apologized to me for not believing my lie that it wasn't me that prank called her.
Dude, you just got scumbag vindicated right there.
Yeah, you so did.
I know, but I mean, I don't know. It was worth it because it was funny at the time.
It was worth it, he says.
I think you were working out some material while you were prank calling her too, though. It was like you were doing work right there.
I probably was.
That's true.
I probably was. But I was doing that, and then we went to we took a bus to the next venue. That's what it was. And that was my first time on a public bus. Like I'd never been on a public bus before. Like I'd been on a school bus, but never on a public bus. And I remember like looking around me, and everybody looked so depressed. And I think I told you, Tim. I was like, why does everybody look so fucking like depressed right now? And you're like, well, these are like the bottom scum of LA. Like this is what the city runs on top of all these people that you see on the bus here. You know, like they're
I
like,
don't think I said bottom.
or not the bottom scum, like the bottom of the barrel or something. It was something in that nature. Does that make sense? Like.
No, I think what I said was probably these people are on the fucking bus. Like, there's never a reason to be super stoked that you're on the bus. Like that's it. But I take the bus. It's not like the bottom barrel.
Maybe you said this is the grease that makes the city run on. I don't know.
Yes.
That's what you said. Because these people are on a bus and they're like probably they can't afford a car, so here they are. And then so we went to the next venue and. It was like a super crowded, like narrow, like club type place. I don't know if you guys remember. It was like
I've been back to that place actually.
Oh, have you? What is it exactly? Is it a bar or a club?
Well, now, at that point, it was like it didn't have a name because they were still like trying to figure out what they were gonna do with it, and they hadn't like 100% like decided. But now it's just like a bar. It's pretty nice. It's like just a straight up bar. It's
like 127.
It was like something 127, but now it like has a name. Like it used to be just called like Space 127. Now it's like something. I forget what it's called. But I've been there with some friends. It's like a hip. It's more of like not hipster, but more like old school LA classy style. Like it's on the same level as like the Dresden. like it's kind of upscale bar in Los Angeles.
Yeah, it was the complete opposite of where we were before. And the most
Yes.
notable thing to me that night, besides seeing Das Races, way more up close at that venue, by the way, was seeing Mike D get down on the floor. I was like, oh my God. He like took off his overcoat or his overshirt or whatever, and you just went at it. You were just like dancing the night away. And I remember thinking, like, I don't know how he does that, because I in a million years, you put a gun to my head and tell me to go and cut the floor there, I couldn't do it. Just put a bullet in my head, because I'm not the type of person that just goes out and dance. And Mike D's over here, he just goes on there and he just fucking lets loose on the dance floor. And I remember admiring that a lot. Like I'm not the type of person who could just do that, and you just did it. And I was like, wow, that was just amazing to me.
I gotta say though, I think a part of it was like the first time we saw them in the night, where a dance floor or a proper space to watch a music performance was a pool that was, you know, not fit for jumping in when you had driven all the way from Palm Springs to LA for a show. So there might have been some like FOMO happening in the first episode of that performance. So by the time the second one came around, I think you missed a step there. We definitely like picked up a bottle of tequila that we drank on the bus on our way there, so that we wouldn't have to pay exorbitant prices.
Right. Okay.
This is another poor story. We were very poor at this time too.
Yeah, we got completely crunk on the bus, and then we stopped at like a liquor store next door to the space and bought like fucking not Ole, but some other malt liquor tall cans and drank those before we went into the event. So we were like properly hammered.
Oh my god!
Before we went into the show, because then we were at the club and I didn't buy a single fucking drink in the club. Like, you know what I mean? Like I bought all of my alcohol outside. I think we all did the same thing.
Yeah.
Adrian, do you remember drinking malt liquor?
I don't, and I don't think I did, because I always perceived that stuff as being like really cheap and just bad tasting. So I don't know that I actually drank anything that night.
You should try that Founders. What is it? DKFM or DKFM. It's the Founders like premium barrel aged malt liquor. It's pretty good, honestly.
Is it?
That sounds lovely.
I'll have to put that on my to drink list. But I no, but I have fond memories of that night, because I mean, how often do I go into the city on a Friday night to go see some underground rap group? You know, like that's the only time I've ever really done that. And I did it with you guys, so I don't know, that memory holds a special place in my heart. If I do say.
That's a lot of fun.
It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I think to date, I mean, I think having a child is pretty fucking cool, but. Yeah. That might have been the single most coolest thing you've ever done in your life, Adrian.
Oh, I'm glad to know that I did it with cool people too. But yeah, I had a lot of fun that night. So that was that, and then that was really the only story I wanted to talk about. The only thing I wanted to other than that, I wanted to reminisce about was when we used to do stand-up comedy at your house back in the day. You know, and that was always
that was fun.
That was always fun. And didn't you guys do like a fortnight one time at his house? It was you and Sam and I forget who else. And you guys like had like, I don't know, you guys built a fort out of pillows and cardboard boxes. I wasn't there for that. I only heard the stories later on. But do you guys remember that at all, or?
Was that the hot tub time machine night as well?
Yes. Well, it might have not been the same night, but it was a night. That was fun. That was a fun place to hang out.
That was a fun place to hang out. The Tangerine House. That's what it was called, I think.
Yes.
It was dubbed by Mike's former roommate, who shall not be named.
Yeah.
We can believe.
We don't talk about him in fair company. No, I don't know.
Wait, can we sidestep and do a quick recap story that doesn't mention his name? Okay, just because there's no listeners out here that understand that.
It doesn't matter. It honestly doesn't matter.
So, Tangerine House, I shared the space with a friend of ours, or a former friend of ours. Lived with him in San Diego, didn't work out. Was like, okay, let's try it again. Let's live in Palm Springs together in this weird, you know, like 1920s barn house and throw a bunch of art shows and shit. Like, yeah, it'll work out. Didn't work out again. I moved to Oakland, like, right afterwards.
Right.
He hits me up a few weeks ago, though, and he's like, hey, thinking about moving to San Francisco. I did you a solid when, you know, we decided to be roommates in San Diego. Would you want to be my roommate in San Francisco? It's like, haven't talked to the dude or hung out with the dude in like 5-6 years.
Wow.
And I had to just be like, sorry, man, I like my autonomy. that was the approach that I had to take at that point.
You have to be like, I'm sorry, but I have money to pay for my own place now, so I'd rather not have a roommate at all.
You guys were both roommates with him. Now that I think about it, I just forgot about that, Tim. You were roommates with
Yeah.
him as well. Yeah.
Tim and I are Eskimo brothers as a result of living with the same person.
Oh,
This is true.
oh my goodness.
It is definitely 100% Eskimo brothers due to living with that person. That's why we're Eskimo brothers. There's no other reason.
Like, you share a shower with somebody, and then you live with that somebody, you're Eskimo brothers.
That makes perfect sense. The art shows, how did that come about, by the way, Mike? Because was that your idea, or whose idea was that? I feel like it was your idea, wasn't it, to do that at your house?
Probably. It was a combination of forces. The more I think about it, is that, like, we had a DIY scene that we were constantly contributing to, whether we knew we were contributing to it or not. And it was a result of, like, being young, being ambitious, being poor.
Right.
Right.
All of those things together create for, product. Like, you were able to create something that's like your own, and really encapsulates like where you're at in your life.
Yeah, those are fun times. I mean, the first time I did stand-up comedy was at your house. Sorry.
Yeah. Well, we filmed some really weird videos and shit there too, right?
Yes.
Which are, I think, they're out there on the YouTube.
Oh, they're on
channels.
YouTube. Yeah, I could send you links if you want.
But yeah, no, I mean, yeah, there is like a certain mix of like just not sad, but definitely poor. Like there's this like you're just doing anything you can to like get out of it, you know? Like you're just thinking like, what can I do to not be poor anymore? And then but at the same time you're like trying to release your actual voice, trying to let people know. It's almost like it's a scream for help, but it's also like a scream for just money. You know, it's both things. It's like, I need money, and I also need you to like recognize me as a human being that exists, and that it comes out. That same message comes out in like a million different ways.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think desperation is really authentic.
Right. That's true. That's
And
true.
it translates really, really well into comedy. It translates really well into art. Translates really well into like videos of like kicking over a vacuum.
That was the highlight of that video too, was kicking over a vacuum.
After all these years.
And low key making fun of
crazy.
making fun of a dude who was like a well-known DJ in the desert, if I remember correctly.
He's not shit.
Or whatever it was.
Well
He's
known.
like an established like visual artist who has like entire installations at festivals. Sorry if I'm diming somebody out right now, but that's the
No,
real
that's fine.
Yeah.
Let everyone know who you're talking about. Just say it. Just say it. Say his name.
Didn't you guys get in trouble for painting at his studio or somebody's studio or something? You guys had to go back and repaint it?
Man,
Yeah.
that's a story. That's a sad one.
Tell me that story really quick. I want
That's
to
a
hear
tough story.
Okay. Fucking,
Oh, wait, hold on.
hold on.
Before we move into any more stories, I think we need to drink some more beers.
Yeah, let's drink some.
Adrian, do you have a third beer?
I do, but I thought we were just doing the two, and then
No, we're doing more. This is story time beer.
Okay, that's fine.
We're not even gonna talk about this beer.
In that case, I do have another one. Yes.
Okay, so we're just gonna drink these beers. We're not even gonna break them down.
All right. No, that's fine with me. I can do that. But in that case, do you want? Yeah, let me take a quick break, or let me just pause it.
Promotional consideration paid for by the following.
Hey, pro wrestling announcer Kevin Kelly here. I want to make sure you are all subscribed to all the great feeds here at Place to Be Nation. It's really easy to do. Just head to iTunes or your preferred podcatcher app today and search and subscribe to the Place to Be Nation wrestling feed, which of course includes the full archives of the Kevin Kelly Show, the Place to Be Nation pod feed, and the Pro Wrestling Only feed. Subscribe, listen, and then rate us and leave feedback today. And be sure to give Justin your true thoughts. I mean, don't hold back. After all, he is kind of a jerk. Just listen to Scott.
Place to Be Nation's JT Rosero and Chad Campbell here. We want to let you know that we have a ton of great podcasts available to you on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, and PlayStation.com, and we offer those to you on 3 great feeds. On the Place to Be Nation Wrestling feed, we bring you the Mothership, the original Place to Be podcast, as well as Main Event, Lucha Afterground, and our monthly pay-per-view reaction shows, as well as the Our Vantage Point podcast and Jeff Learns Wrestling. In addition to these full-length shows, we also deliver quick-hit pod blasts on topics old and new.
Over on the Pro Wrestling Only feed, we dive deep inside the wrestling business with a stacked army of experts leading the way. The feed features potpourri shows such as This Week in Wrestling, Greetings from Allentown, Psychology is Dead, Puro Potpourri, Stacy and Elliot's Bogus Journey, and the Military Industrial Suplex. We also have shows that focus intently on certain topics like Letters from Center Stage, Space City, and NWA Classics On Demand Adventure, Through the Years, Strong Style History, Strong Style Story, and Mount Olympus. Plus, the feed has the full archives of legendary shows like Titans of Wrestling, Where the Big Boys Play, Letters from Kayfabe, and much more. And on our popular Place to Be Nation Pop podcast feed, we offer such great shows as the Glenn Butler Podcast Hour Spectacular, Rank and File, PTBN Dadcast, Go Home in a Box, NBA Team, and Lucha Undead, as well as a veritable podcast heaven for comics fans with the Hard Traveling Fanboys, Sellers Points, Todd Weber's Conversation, Geek and Sassy, and Imaginary Stories podcasts.
You can find all of these current shows plus archives of our past podcasts, including The Kevin Kelly Show, as well by subscribing to all of our feeds on iTunes, and while there, be sure to rate and leave feedback as well. All of these shows, plus others, available on PlaceToBeNation.com, where we cover pro wrestling, sports, movies, comics, plus in-depth stretch projects and more. Be sure to support our site by using PlaceToBeNation.com/Amazon when shopping online, and download our free PTB Vintage Vault Refresh ebooks via the links on our site. We also want to thank our friends at Bonehead's Wing Bar in West Warwick, Rhode Island, and Fall River, Massachusetts, TheHistoryOfWrestling.com, and Scott Keats' Blog of Doom. Be sure to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Tumblr as well. PlaceToBeNation.com, the only place to be in your pop culture world.
All right, we're back. I'm drinking Dale's Pale Ale. This is their flagship beer. Yeah, this is like, you can find this anywhere. I don't think there's like a secret to, like, this isn't like some, Colorado's best kept secret. Like, this beer is available. I think, Tim, you've had this beer.
Yeah, I love it. I love the Deviant Dale too. That's my favorite.
Ooh. I drank a Dale's Pale Ale like at least once or twice a week, taking public transportation after a shift. It was ultimate brown bag beer, drinking with a straw for me for a little while.
Yeah. What how are you enjoying San Francisco? You've been there for 7 years now. I didn't realize it's been that long. How do you? I mean, you must love it there,
real?
right?
It's real. It's very real. I recently got to a point where I had to accept the fact that I'm here and I like can't leave anytime soon, because life is kind of easy and dialed in at this point. And also, I wouldn't be able to afford my apartment if I tried to leave and come back.
Nice.
Which is the biggest threat right now.
That rent control. That's
Yeah,
the worst.
The worst and the best. No, it's a good place for me right now. There's a lot of people willing to collaborate and to be creative and to work hard. So,
so where do you currently work in San Francisco?
So right now I'm at a really cool nano brewery in Oakland. They're called Woods Beer Company.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, they do some really amazing stuff. Tons of fun traditional styles of beer, but also like really cool variations of it, using lots of herbs, using flowers, using lesser known hops. Also,
you're not lying too. That the Matavesa is one of the best fucking beers on the planet, man.
Yeah, it's a beer. It's an IPA brewed with yerba mate, so you get like a bitter, earthy, minty thing happening. Not having to use as much hops because tea is bitter in its own way. So that's, but every February we make about 4 or 5 beers that mimic our favorite Girl Scout cookies. So not afraid to get stupid and silly at the same time.
Nice.
Right now we're working on a Four Loko beer. So.
Oh no. We could just talk about stories all night involving Four Locos, but I don't want to get into that.
Yeah, now you're dipping into a weird vein, right? The Highland Park made Four Crazy, which was it was a beer brewed with caffeine to be like the Four Crazy beer. But yeah, like Four Loko inspired beers phenomenal. The first time I went to Woods, I think I went with you as just patrons. You didn't even work there yet, and they were doing the like Jamba Juice series.
Yeah, smoothie.
And that Jamba Juice series was what made me fall in love with that place. And like I said, you didn't even work there yet, and I was just in love with that spot. I was just like, this place is amazing. And then you started working there, and then it's like it's just gone through the roof. I mean,
yeah.
Well, okay, so can we talk about your work situation? Like, how far can we talk? Because there is something interesting and exciting possibly happening at your work that I would love to like talk about, but I don't know if we can.
Let's put it out there, and I think everything's pretty much full disclosure at this point. So yeah.
Okay, so you've been working at Woods for a while. So I'm opening up the Universal Magnet. It's a New England IPA from Mumford, and so this is like straight up New England IPA. I tried it earlier, already on tap. So I'm just gonna be honest with you guys. This is a lot. This is what I'm talking about when Mumford makes good New England IPAs. This shit is terpene as fuck. It's super thick. It's got that full ass mouthfeel. Amazing esters come through the nose that just smell like hops, like some just dank ass hop juice. It's mosaic, or that's Galaxy hops with mosaic lupulin powder. So you know it's good. It's brewed with science. But yeah, so you were telling me a while back that their Woods is looking into spreading their legs a little bit, and you're going to be involved in this process. I don't know, Mike, like you want to get into what your kind of new situation is with Woods there.
Yeah, well, I think we've got a lot of ties to the natural wine community out there, which is, it sounds really bougie and silly, but when you think about it, it's just like, I like, just to put it into layman's terms, like, most of the wine that you get in the world is basically the TV dinner of the original ingredient that it's showcasing. And natural wine is kind of like similar to the organic food movement, but it's actually just like harkening back to how we've always made things 99% of the time. So, you industrialize a lot of the food systems, and you have like a bunch of bullshit that's put into the wine, into the food, and then it's taken out of the wine and taken out of the food. So natural wine's cool because like they kind of just like harvest a bunch of grapes. They don't put a bunch of fertilizers and bullshit into the ground. And then they like will press the grapes with all of their stems on it, all of the fucking must, all of the bacteria and yeast that's naturally occurring. And, your end product is something that has a little bit of that horse blanket. It has a little bit of that cheese. It has a little bit of that tartness, but it's interesting. It's dynamic. So what Woods started doing about a year ago was sourcing some really cool grapes from local wineries who don't put bullshit into the soil. And they were brewing basically like they were making a wort. And so the initial stages of a beer is when you cook your grains down. And they were adding they're adding the freshly pressed grapes to the wort, and then they were kind of just leaving it alone, putting it into some barrels, and then having this like beer wine hybrid sort of product. We did 2 last year, 2 different grapes, an Albarino and a Mourvèdre, and then this year we did 5. So about 4 dedicated variations, and then 1 blend of sorts. So those are all like actually active and alive and brewing and doing their own thing right now. If it ever makes its way to Colorado, that would be amazing. Right now they're like super fun niche like little products that we're bottling a good percentage of. But if you guys ever come and visit me, I have definitely a few bottles on hand of each of them, like ready to taste. And it's one of those things of like, you try it when it's ready, it's cool. You try it in 4 or 5 months, it's better. You try it in 8 months, maybe it's not as good. But you try it in like a year and a half, and you're like, fuck, where have you been my whole life? But just goes to showcase, when we're drinking beer, when we're drinking wine, we're drinking any fermented, produce. Shit's alive. That the thing has character. It has its own plan, and you can only control it so much before it starts to showcase what it is. So yeah, I've been fortunate enough to be part of this family and being able to like contribute, my palate and, fuck with some amazing people who are doing cool shit. I mean, it's the unprecedented territory. We call it beer wine, but there's no other really word for it. It's a divine origin, is how it's marketed.
Yeah, right. Well, I mean, that's the crazy thing, right? Is there's always been, and this is, I will just say, this is a little bit of a spoiler for Michael. Everyone else, it doesn't fucking matter, but it's a little spoiler for Michael. But he'll have to pick up the hints. Is that like there's always been these hybrids? There's like different mixes of what you're making within like this fermentation lifestyle, right? So there's like, oh, there's beer and there's ciders and there's wine and there's mead. But like when you go in between, like there's like a braggot, right? A braggot is like a mead that also is like also has barley. So it's like it's a mixture of malted grains and honey wine, and there's like that exists, and there's also like there's different names for different styles. So like when you talk about it's like a beer wine, it's like, well, I mean, yeah, like of course you're gonna push the boundaries of this fermentation like kind of situation and just kind of mix everything together. Like for me, even before I think I had some wild wines with you before that I liked, and I was like, I'm into them. But like the moment where I was just like, okay, I completely get this wild wine situation. Like it's fucking amazing what can be made here. Was I was at the tasting room for Charlie and Echo, and they have a sparkling red sour that's a wild wine. Because Charlie and Echo, all they make is wild wines. It's called the Kraken, and it's got like it tastes like blackberry and bell pepper. Like it's got this like really nice like mix of flavors. It's sparkling reds. I found out of like is like totally my thing. I love sparkling red wine. So yeah, it's sour. It's like cherry. It's blackberries, bell peppers, mixed like Syrah kind of flavors. And it's like this thing. I drank it and I was like, oh, this is how I remember the first time I tasted like Lindeman's Framboise. Like that was when I really started to like understand beer. Because like for me, people talk about like what's the first beer that got you into craft beer, and I always say like the first beer that got me into craft beer was Delirium Tremens. As I tried a Delirium Tremens at the Garden House, and I was like, oh, I get it now. This is how beer can be. This is fucking nuts. And then from there, the Lindemann's Framboise, I was like, oh my god, like this is fucking phenomenal. Like the mixtures, it's wild. It's got these like different esters and this wild yeast strains that are mixing with these fruit flavors that are creating this like super cool dance. And like that was the same thing I got from this like it's a wild sparkling red sour that like came through to me like a lambic. I was just like, what the fuck is this? Like this is so cool. And like that's the next steps. I think like wild wines are like really poised to be essentially like the new craft beer. Like honestly, like wild wines are the next step of this fermentation kind of I don't know, explosion that we're having right now.
Yeah, I feel like umami is the next frontier, really. And the Japanese have always understood umami as being like this, dried fish, sort of, fermented chilies, sardines, like tomatoes, like everything. There's umami in everything, cured meats. But like what wild wine, wild beer, Brettanomyces, all these things have in common is just like you're tasting something that's alive and it's multi-dimensional. Whereas like you are introduced to beer and you're like, all right, it's got bubbles, it's got a little bit of wheat character, it's got some frothiness, it's hard to chug. It's difficult to come around to. And sometimes what the bacteria does is it actually makes it more accessible. It's like, oh, this is kind of funky, this is kind of weird, but it digests nicely. It feels good in my body. And not to get like too hippie, but there's something to be said for something that you put inside of your body. It agrees with the chemical fucking things that are happening in your body, and things get along. They work well together. And just to give you like a really short little story of when I realized like what the reach of beer was for me was, I think I was with you, Tim, is when we were living in the Tangerine House and a huge like traveling little motorhome pulled up across the empty lot that used to be a Safeway, I think, and a bunch of like maybe half a dozen German like 19-year-old, 20-year-old kids pulled up, put their little lawn chairs out, were sitting on some concrete, and they were just pounding from these hot 30-pack of Budweiser beers.
Yeah.
And naturally we went over there to like see what their story was, because who else, like who's coming to like hang out in an empty lot and drink warm Budweisers. I remember thoroughly enjoying warm Budweiser in a way that like Budweiser was the first beer that I ever had, and in many ways it was like the go-to for the first couple of years of drinking. And it had been 5 or 6 years since having a Budweiser, but drinking it warm, I tasted things that I never tasted before. And I remember being excited about that, and I was like, I think I like warm beer now. And what I think I was liking was liking the multi-dimensional appeal of a drink, of it can be different 10 minutes after you open it. It can be different 10 months after you open it, or 10 months after you let it sit. And, what happens is like things change. Flavors show themselves in different ways. And also, like, if it's treated right, it can age on its own inside of a bottle or a can.
Yeah, no, exactly. That's where you start really getting into it, is that there's so much more depth to flavor and so much more going on. Like, I don't know, Mike, did you ever get into that third beer that you had for tonight? Bad boy up? I think you did, right?
Yeah, it's actually kind of coming full circle, because this is a hot mix volume 2, and it's a collaboration with a bunch of Pittsburgh breweries, EJ Fair, Alpha Acid, and Hop Dogma. And this actually has like a
damn, that's a fucking murderer's row, dog.
It's kind of ridiculous. So this is the second installation that they've done, and this one has a bunch of hops that are actually really reminiscent of grapes, wine grapes. So you got Hallertau Blanc in there, you got Nelson, and then you've also got Amarillo. Amarillo being a more traditional piney one that we're all familiar with, but Nelson and Hallertau Blanc are both like very Sauvignon Blanc reminiscent. There's even like some salinity actually in it, which I really dig. It kind of comes in late, but it like makes your mouth water a little bit. It's a really cool beer. I'm glad that I drank it last, and I'm glad that we're talking about wine while I'm drinking it. It's marketed as a hazy West Coast IPA, but it's pretty golden and fairly clear actually compared to the first beers that I had. Looks like it was bottled like 2 weeks ago maybe. So
nice.
Fairly fresh on that front from coming all the way from Pittsburgh. But yeah, this is a fucking cool beer. I would like to I want to like drink this beer and like talk about beer for another 2 hours.
Yeah, right? I think we've already gone like 2 hours, which is beyond the pale for us, which is, we've already been going for way too long. But yeah, I mean,
yeah, this is a mild bitterness, nice tiny bit of pine in there, good savory quality, good salinity. It's cool. It's really fucking cool. It's actually the most balanced beer that I've been drinking all day, and makes me want to go to Pittsburgh actually.
Yeah, right. Well, what's interesting for me is I'm drinking this Universal Magnet, and it's got the Mosaic lupulin powder, and I've been trying to make these lupulin powder IPAs or these lupulin powdered beers in general, just to see what the fucking just to kind of understand the lupulin powder, how it works. And I've got this nice blended. It's got like 3 different lupulin powders mixed, and it's just, when you talk about like the Sauvignon Blanc and the what was the other one that you had there? It's did you have the Nelson Sauvin, or what is it? The hops are in that beer, I'm sorry?
The Nelson and the Hallertau Blanc.
Okay, Hallertau Blanc, Nelson. Yeah, Nelson Sauvin, Hallertau Blanc. Like, they're going more old school, even though they're like coming from New Zealand, which I think a lot of people are thinking is like kind of the new school for the hop farms. Like, that stuff is honestly a lot more old school than these powders. Like, these lupulin powders are like science, you know what I mean? They're like math and science coming through with this fucking crazy ass hop powder that's like completely the opposite. And I'm getting into them, and I'm liking the lupulin powder, but I really am excited to see where it goes, because I don't know if you've drank many of these lupulin beers, but like the lupulin powder really like kind of it falls off relatively quickly, like, but then it starts to like develop a lot of different flavors. Like, it's definitely very interesting. And beer science, wine science, just fermentation science in general is just fucking crazy. Like this stuff goes all over the place. That it's like you said, it's alive. You're putting it into your body. It's playing with your not esters. Your like kind of I guess it's not terroir. What do you say terroir that's inside of your own body? You know, it's like it's the
internal terroir.
It's like it plays with like the kind of everything that grows inside of your own body in this weird way where it's like you might like the way something tastes, but also do you like the way it feels? Do you like the feeling it gives you inside when you're drinking it? So it's just like there's so much stuff that it's super cool. And like that's the whole point of this show. That's the whole point of everything that I do is like I like to talk about stuff that I find really cool. And I know a lot of people, I have friends who are straight edge. They don't drink alcohol, and I totally get it. And I don't blame you. Like you're into what you're into. But like for me, alcohol is not about getting drunk. Getting drunk is fun. Getting buzzed is nice. But there's so much more to it. It's like it's one of the few things that you can ingest as a human that like has the same effects on your entire like every scope of your body. And like that's more what it's about to me. It's not about like the reasons against like drunkardness, right? Like the problems that it creates. It's more about like really starting to understand yourself and breaking that all apart, you know, and really starting to get yourself on like a molecular level and understanding this drink on a molecular level. It's like alive, and it's like it's its own universe inside there. There's bacterias and there's yeast strains, and they're interacting with sugars, and they're creating all of this existence. It's like insanely cool, you know?
But how dank is it?
Yeah, right?
Adrian, you have a child. How does this relate to your experience of like...
Exactly. You made a living thing. Like, I love that drinks are living.
Yeah.
Alcoholic drinks are living, but you have a living child.
It's pretty surreal, to be honest. I still am wrapping my mind around it, like, wow, like this is real. Like this young little tiny human, you know, came from me and my wife, and it took 9 months, and you know, and it's like even my dad was telling me the other day. I was talking to my dad, and he even said the same thing. I was like, "Is this really mine? Like, is this real right now? Like, you know, I don't know. It's a little mind blowing, really. You know."
Wait, was your dad questioning whether you were his?
Yeah. No, not necessarily, but he was just saying like he was having a hard time grasping like is this all real? You know what I mean? Like, and
he's a grandpa now.
And I'm going through the same thing myself. Like this tiny little human is like, you know, 50% me, 50% my wife. You know, it's like how does that? Like we've been doing this since the dawn of man, and it's like it's still like the most craziest thing to me. You know, so but I get what you're saying when it comes to the beer. You know, what's that?
No, it's the first time you've done it. That's the thing that's crazy about it. Like you said, it's been done by humans for thousands of years, but it's the first time you've done it.
Yeah, which makes you think like it shouldn't be that crazy because this is just how it's always been. But when you do it yourself, I guess it just it changes your perspective on things in a way. You know, I don't know.
No, for sure.
So yeah.
That's a universal experience. Like no matter what you apply it to, it's like, hey, try it yourself. It's gonna come out different.
I can't wait for him to grow up so we can drink beers together, so we can try different beers together. You know, I think that's gonna be fun.
Well, that's why you have to start homebrewing. You gotta teach your son how to homebrew.
That's actually not a bad idea. I should consider that.
You should be cutting his breast milk with a little bit of homebrew.
Putting a little Dale's Pale in there.
Why should he only live off of like Sarah's production?
Right?
He
Yeah.
should live off of what you're producing as well.
I know, 50-50, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. You bring up a good point. But yeah, no, it's been good, man. You know, been tired, obviously. You know, don't get much sleep nowadays. Can't really do much of that.
No.
But man, it's been good. Anyway, God, what was I? Where else are we going with this? I completely forgot. Were we gonna do another story time, or was that it?
No, I think that was it.
That was pretty much
Adrian, it. What was the third beer that you drank?
Dale's Pale Ale. Yeah.
Dale's Pale.
Yeah.
The old Dale's Pale. It's good stuff.
This is a really good. Like, I mean, this is just a beer. You know what I mean? Like, it's nothing pretentious or weird or quirky or crazy. You know.
Yeah, I did an event recently, and somebody gifted me like a basically a flat of Dale's Pale Ale. It was like 6 4-packs of the 16 ounces,
Nice.
and it's like, oh my god, like this is what I want to drink when I get off of work. Like I want to just have one,
Yes.
no matter what. You know, I don't want to think about beer. I don't want to like try anything new. I just want to be like maintained, and I think that beer does that so well.
Yeah.
Yep. That's
Yeah.
it. I mean, I've got a fridge full of all of these fucking can release beers, and I've got a 15-pack of all day IPA. You know what I mean? And sometimes I would rather just drink the all day IPA because, like you said, you don't have to. It's a weird thing to say, but you don't have to think about it. You just drink it. You know?
Yeah.
There's so many beers that are just like the sit and think beers that are hard to swallow, honestly. But some beers are just nice, easy drinkers, and Dale's Pale Ale is a fantastic example of just like an easy drinker, you know.
Listen, you can't have steak for dinner every night, but you know what? Sometimes a good old fashioned pastrami sandwich is all you need. You know,
That's it.
that's all it is.
That's it.
Wait, does that mean you eat pastrami sandwiches like 6 nights a week?
No, but you know, I had to think of some kind of meat that's just readily available all the time, and pastrami comes to mind for some reason.
Pastram.
They say the inner Jew inside of you, Adrian.
That's true.
Oh, don't I know it? I told Sarah, I was like, what if we just raise our son Jewish? She's like, well, you know, you have to also do stuff too. Like, you can't just raise your kid Jewish and you not participate. Like, you also have to, like, you would have to convert and do all this stuff. I'm like, oh, that sounds like a lot of work. I don't want to do all that.
Well, wasn't that Nick Cross who was talking about he's going to raise his kid Amish? And he was like,
David Cross.
At one point, I expect David Cross.
Yeah.
He's like, at some point, I expect that my kids will ask me. They'll be like, Daddy, we're not allowed to use electricity and we're not allowed to use the phone, but why are you? And he's like, well, that's because Daddy's not Amish. Which is just like amazing. It's like such a good idea. You should just raise your kids to be Amish.
That's yeah.
I mean, you do, Adrian. I think it like suits your personality type really well. You get to channel your inner Larry David and just like be angry all the time.
Oh, dude, you don't even know. Larry David is my spirit animal. Like seriously, like.
I know that.
Oh man. Yeah, love that show. Love Curb Your Enthusiasm. Like his whole way of thinking is just that's basically who I am at the end of the day.
Like this season has had some problematic jokes and all that, and like I totally get it because like he's kind of a beast from a different like bygone era.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like he's also like hasn't gotten hit with a bunch of sexual assault claims. Like you might say like, oh, he's problematic, but like yeah, his jokes are like kind of a little bit pushing the boundaries, but he also didn't rape a bunch of people.
I feel like
let's give the guy a little bit of a pass.
I think Larry David, I don't think he would ever put in the kind of effort it would take to sexually harass someone. You know what I mean? Like, there's just no way. That's just not his style. Like, that's too much work at the end of the day. Like, hey, you want to see me take a shower? Like, why would he want someone to watch him take a shower? Like, that's not him, you know?
No,
So
well, he does his work in like making jokes about his weird eccentricities and shit. Like that's how he gets it out of his system.
yeah,
You know?
exactly.
Meanwhile, Kevin Spacey's like, I'm gonna try to be a serious actor. No, fuck your serious acting. Just like work out your weird sexual fantasies on their own, and then you can do that.
You know, the least surprising thing to come out of all this was that Andy Dick is a sexual predator. I'm like, wait a minute. I thought everyone knew Andy Dick was a sexual deviant since like the 90s. Yeah, that's not surprising at all, but that's Hollywood for you.
That's why we've always hated him.
That's life in the NFL.
That is life at the NFL. Well, okay, so Andy Dick, known sexual predator,
Yes.
known sexual problematic, known just all around party dude.
Yeah.
He is kind of annoying, honestly. But so I was walking back from a show with my wife, Alicia McCoy, who's been on the show before.
Yes.
Who has a zine on sale? Can't go no ride. Just look for it on GoFundMe. Anyways, we're walking back from a wrestling show. One time we were in Los Angeles, and as we walked by this parking garage, Andy Dick popped out of the parking garage on foot. out of nowhere, and he was like coming by, and he was acting insane. He's like, "Woo! Look at me, I'm Andy Dick." He's like kind of a mix between not William Shatner. Fuck, I can't think of his name. Not the Nutty Professor, but
Eddie Murphy?
Mrs. Doubtfire.
Oh, Robin Williams?
Robin Williams. Yeah, he's like a mix between like Robbie Williams and I'm gonna say Carrie Von Erich, but you guys don't know who he is.
No.
Anyways, so he's like this effeminate little juby, spindly fucking asshole, and he pops out and he's making weird noises, and I just look at him for like 2 seconds and I go, "No, Andy," and I just keep walking. Like that's how you react to Andy Dick. You're just like, "Oh, thank you." And like, yeah.
You really said that.
Not a known sexual predator. Yes, I was like, "No, Andy," and you just keep walking. Like,
not this time, brother.
It's amazing
right
to
now.
it's amazing to have been in the industry as long as he has, and it's like he's a celebrity who nobody really gives a shit is a celebrity. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
you would think he would have more street cred or something. I don't know.
He's been famous for decades.
Decades.
And no one gives a shit
No one
about him.
gives a shit.
Wait, what does Corey Feldman think about Andy Dick?
Oh, that's a good question.
That's a good question.
Corey Feldman, the one that's still alive?
Yes.
Yes.
Corey Haim is the one you're thinking of that died.
Oh, okay, he's the dead one.
Yeah, we still have one of the two Corys left.
Wait,
It's just like America, man. Our
Yeah.
Corys have run dry.
Yeah. I think it's great that you live in Los Angeles because where else can you share a story like that? Like I ran into Andy Dick and I said, "No, Andy." Where else in America? You know,
Nowhere else except for maybe Palm Springs,
except for many Palms. That's true.
Which is
and then
really
also Vancouver.
true. Very true. But like the only reason that we all know that Andy Dick has been a sexual predator is because we're all from Palm Springs, California. Let's
Yeah.
be real.
Yeah, that's true. It's a good
So-
point.
Yeah.
A lot of the rest of America doesn't know.
Yeah, our gaydar has been dialed in since we were like prepubescent.
That's very true. I think since I've left Palm Springs, my gator needs to be retuned because there's been people
Sure.
here and there where I'm like, "Oh, really? That person? Oh, that's cool."
Adrian, I can help you out with that.
Okay. I'll take you. You know what? I'm actually going to be in San Francisco at the end of December, so we should actually catch up sometime. By the way,
Let's make it happen.
yeah, I'm going to be
Alright.
there for my sister-in-law's wedding, so maybe if there's time, I'll hit you up.
Well, you know, I always love national weddings, so you let me know.
Oh yeah, no, by all means.
Adrian, when is that wedding happening?
I think it is December 28th, but I could be wrong. It's like the very end of December. So
Can I just say that that's like such a budget Mexican move right there, and I love it.
I mean, it's my sister-in-law, and she's gonna get married at the courthouse in downtown San Francisco. So
Sick.
I don't know.
Yes.
It's a public building, so it's not like you can't get in. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's like 3 days after Christmas.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody coming except for you and your.
Oh no, she wants it small. Yeah, she wants it small. She's my sister-in-law is really cool, but she's a little bit more antisocial than most people, I guess you could say. So
Much like a woman with vaginismus, she likes it small.
exactly. Yes, that's exactly what it is. You're right.
Well, I was just talking about her wedding. I wasn't saying she has. Anyways, well, I might be able to come out there with you, Adrian, because I think during December I have a nice long weekend as well.
Oh really?
Dude,
Yeah,
come.
but
Come, please.
We should do
We'll have-
something, then. We should do some kind of semi-reunion type shit.
but I think we should talk about this off air.
Yes,
this
yes.
podcast has run adrift.
Yes, it
It's
has
run
a little
land.
bit. Mike, is there
Well,
anything
I-
you want? Is there
no.
anything you wanted to plug? Like, did you have something you wanted to?
Oh yeah, Michael.
Oh, Plug Time USA. Here we go.
Yes.
Well, I want to plug Woods Brewing Company because they're doing amazing shit, and I've been working for them for the past year and a half, and I believe in their stuff. I also want to plug my solo entrepreneurial sort of food pop-up thing that's going by the name of MDLT. Obviously, Michael De La Torre.
Nice.
Going to be doing some cool Arab tacos in the future,
Ooh.
sort of thing. So be on the lookout for the slightly politically incorrect food stuffs from me. That's it though.
Cool.
Fantastic.
What about you, Tim?
Same old, same old. I already kind of snuck in the plug earlier, but Can't Go No Ride on GoFundMe for my wife. She's going to England. Again, it's not about someone trying to get you to pay for their vacation. It's literally just trying to pay rent for a zine. Like, buy a zine, you get something for your money, getting just nothing, and she'll be able to pay rent for the month when she goes to visit her brother who's having a baby.
Can't get no ride?
Otherwise, you fall. Yeah, can't get no ride. Can't, like the word, like it's the contraction of can't and not.
Right.
Or, can't go, no ride. So that's that. And then otherwise, you can find me doing podcasts all the time about wrestling. Constantly podcasts about wrestling. And then also probably a podcast about who was the best wrestling for 2016, that already came out. But that'll be coming out soon with my good friend Quentin Moody as we talk about the best wrestlers of 2017. I will expect that in like a month. Look for that in about a month on the also on the Pro Wrestling Only feed. It will be under Psychology is Dead. That's why we're called The Dead, because of me and my buddy Quentin, when we do podcasts together, which we have not done in a while. We'll do soon. Follow me on Twitter at Lucha Undead. Follow me on Instagram at eTarget or Lucha Undead. I'm gonna make the transition slowly into using the Lucha Undead Instagram a lot more regularly. Otherwise, that's it. Just follow me on Twitter. You'll find everything I'm doing. Adrian, do you have anything else that you need to tell these people about?
Yeah, follow me at Della Boots on Twitter and on Untapped, and follow us, Tim and I, also on Untapped at Della Boots and Lucha Undead. Keep up with the latest and greatest beers that we're drinking on there. And Mike D, if you ever get on Untapped, let us know, and we'll put that out there, and we'll give you a follow and a shout out and all that good stuff. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I think we're good here.
That's it. And just like as always, life is about the 3 B's. But tonight we're gonna add a B because it's gonna be the 4 B's because we've had good beers. We drank a bunch of them.
Yes.
We've had good buds. Like the 3 of us are buddies. We've had a lot of good banter. We've been on here for like 2 hours. But the most important thing is good babies. Because Adrian just had a nice baby. So,
I'm also having a baby soon. Don't worry.
Yes. Good night, everybody.